Thank you for watching. Just want to turn my camera around a little bit. Okay. This is another Beatles update where I'm going to show you some vinyl finds that I've gotten in the last few weeks. I'm going to start with the 12-inch albums, LPs, and then I'm going to work my way to the 7-inch single versions. That's the way I like to do it. I think more people have interest in the LPs. So I'm going to start with this. It's Capitol Yesterday and Today album, 1966, although I'm pretty sure this could be a later pressing even. It's still in the shrink wrap. That's the reason that I picked it up. I'm still trying to get all the original albums in the shrink wrap where I can. And this is a pretty flawless looking, clean copy. This has the breathe holes in it, so you know that it's probably the original shrink wrap. And I'm going to show the record because you know, a lot of people I know like to look into their books, the Perry Cox book and other books, and find out exactly what pressing this is. I don't know why I'm thinking this could be a little, not a first pressing, maybe a later one. Let's look at the back just to look for any code number, which I don't see any on it. This is the record, and I'm just realizing I don't have, oh yes, I do have the inner sleeve copies of past Beatle records. This is pretty nice, pretty minty. All right. You know, this is a stereo copy, and it's one of those labels that has the big letter stereo right there on the side. It doesn't say subsidiary on it, so I think we're good to go here. But you know, I always say this in my videos of Beatles, I don't yet have a book or books where you get to see and compare, you know, different labels. Next album up, I got this at my local outdoor flea market, which shows that sometimes you can get good things. It's the Tug of War album by Paul McCartney. It's a German press, and I'm not usually one who really enjoys getting a lot of imports if the covers look the same, because I just don't really see the point unless there's some kind of real difference. You know, this coating that's different up there when you get to the German. But this was cheap, so because it was cheap, then I'll do it. The paper insert sleeve here is in a lot different kind of texture than the one I'm used to, and I like it that when I pulled it out, we had it on the Odeon label. It's the same kind of design, except that it's got Odeon written on it, and it's a little different from the Columbia USA one that I'm so used to. So all things considered, it was worth a purchase, I thought, for the fact that it was so low priced. Okay, here's an album, still sealed, and I'm not going to open it. I don't need to open it ever. It's John Lennon's Walls and Bridges album, but this is a 1980s press. I just feel like I want to shut the light off. This is a 1980s press, as I said. It doesn't have the flaps here. Still sealed. Nice copy to have. I like that it has a whiz sticker here. It says "Love That Whiz" on it. $7.49 originally. So, you know, that's a good one for the still sealed collection. Okay, we're going to continue with that shrink wrap and still sealed idea. The thing is, how often are you going to see this? How often are you going to see two Ringo Starr duplicate albums like this in the same day? Okay, what happened to me was I bought this one, and I never know how to pronounce it. Ringo's Rotogravure, Ringo's Rotogravure, and still in the shrink, never opened. It's got some kind of a sticker here, the Summer Nights from Arrow. I don't know what kind of advertisement that is. And it's funny because, you know, I didn't think this was a cutout bin one until just now. I thought, hey, you know, the best thing is that this is not even a cutout album. And I just felt it with my fingertips. It does have a slight cutout here. Bargain bin. So, I didn't like that this part here is open. There's a big open chunk here of cellophane missing. But, you know, looking to complete the collection this way. Now, the reason I had a second copy of this album, I showed alongside it originally, was because I went to another record store, I think it was the same day, and I found this one, which is definitely not a cutout, and this has the shrink on it. It's open, it is not sealed, but it's clean, and you know, another cheap price. I think this was like $4. I mean, I couldn't just leave Ringo in the shrink sitting there when I had a chance to get two clean copies like that. Okay, next one. I know a lot of people will tune out for stuff like this, but again, I like to collect anything kind of Beatles related, you know. This is Jerry Inman, Lennon and McCartney country style. So it's going to be interesting to hear this. In fact, it might have been funny to put this on in the background when I was making this video. Well, maybe another time. It's on Columbia. Now we go down to the 7-inch records. And there's an interesting assortment here, I think. I'm going to start with this. It's the sleeve only. I have the record somewhere else. This is an upgrade. It's the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night, and I Should Have Known Better. Picture sleeve, capital. And this is really minty. It just really is in fantastic shape. The one I already have of this, I know has some writing on it or something, so this really is nice. Okay, next up, we have the From Me to You UK picture sleeve. This is not from the 60s. They put this out in the 80s. And I've always liked this picture. It's one of my favorite pictures of the early Beatles. They use it for almost everything. But it's nice. It's on the Parlophone Black 45 label. Okay, here's UK copy of The Ballad of John and Yoko, Old Brown Shoe. And it's got Apple with the little spindle hole in it. Okay, I'm going to reference my pal Tim Allen. I was watching a Tim Allen video recently, and he said that he was looking for these 45s, and I got them. I think it was these two, right? It was Jenny Wren and A Fine Line, Paul McCartney. I happen to have these at the time when I saw his video. I know he's been looking for these. This is on a really nice. I really wonder if it's going to show up good here. Do it justice. Really nice. It's a very dark red maroon type of design there. Really cool. Jenny Wren and the B-side Summer of '69, which you don't get on the album that this came from, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. You know, it's always very nice to get Paul singles when you get rare non-album B-sides. And then Fine Line from Chaos and Creation, backed with Growing Up, Falling Down. And there's not much to see. You know, I'm disappointed later on when Paul stopped using picture sleeves, you know. I mean, I really think Paul, it was a kind of a vanity thing, to be honest with you. That's my opinion of it. I think Paul got a little vain and doesn't really want to show himself too much on the records, unless it's an old picture, like on the Pure McCartney recent collection. It's an old photo of Paul. But anyway, yeah. This is a regular black disc, and I can't tell you how thick this is. I mean, this thing is very. I mean, it feels like it's like 5 records, and it's really one very thick record. Okay. I'll just show you what I meant when I said that Paul really doesn't seem to want to show himself. You know, here's From a Lover to a Friend from the Driving Rain album. Riding into Jaipur is the B-side. There's no photo of Paul. You know, not much to get excited about as far as collecting. Interesting label. Keeping right along, there we go to 1986. Paul's Only Love Remains cover. No photo of Paul, but on the back, there we go. There's Paulie. Okay. I would have liked that to be the front cover, but that's on Capitol from the 1980s. Okay, next one is an import. Japanese import original. It's from the Helen Wheels, what's the B-side? Helen Wheels and Country Dreamer, of course. There it is. It has the back where it advertises other records, and opens up to a lyric sheet in English and Japanese. And we have the record, which is on the dark red vinyl. You can see it's kind of transparent, see-through vinyl. So, original 1973 or 4 release there. And we're still with Paul for a couple more. This one is The World Tonight. Really good song from Paul from Flaming Pie. And picture disc there. B-side, Used to Be Bad. I think Steve Miller plays on that, if I got my facts right off the top of my head. Okay, the last one for this particular video. It's a Capitol jukebox single, right? White copy of Paul McCartney doing Come On People from his Off the Ground album, and of course the B-side is a non-album track, thankfully, Down by the River. And that's it. You know, I had this stuff sitting around for a while, and glad to finally get it all here for posterity. And I thank all of you, as always, for watching.